Hi, everybody. My name is Andi. Thank you for coming to our 15-minute stretch break. We're just going to go through a quick, mostly upper body, a little bit of low back moves, and then we'll finish with a few in the chair. So hopefully you saw the liability waiver and you have a little bit of space to move, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So first thing we're going to do is just put ourselves into a correct posture. We tend to be forward leaning with our heads down. So we're just going to go up with our shoulders, bring them back, and then tuck them down and bring the chin back to go with it. So we're standing up nice and tall. This is going to be our neutral resetting position. From that position, we're just going to take a nice deep breath in. And as we do that, we're going to reach our arms up overhead, reaching for the ceiling. If your arms don't like to move this way, that's okay. You can grasp your elbows over your head. You can support your lower back. Whatever feels best for you, but we're going to try to get as tall as we can, like we have a string connecting the crown of our head to the ceiling, and we're just dangling from it, elongating that spine. From there, we're just going to hinge forward halfway, so not going to go all the way down. You can have a little bend in the knees if you'd like, but the important part is that our back is nice and flat. So we don't want to be rounded. We don't want to be making a hollow in our back. Nice, even spine. We're just going to breathe through these, get our bodies a little bit warm. Then we're going to go through them again, and hopefully you'll be able to take the stretch a little bit further. From here, you're going to go ahead and release and just let the top of your head fall to the floor. You can grasp your shins, your ankles, your shoelaces, your toes, the floor, whatever works best for your body today. And try to keep your legs as straight as you can. It's okay to have soft knees, meaning they're not locked out, but you want to have them straight enough that you can feel the stretch all the way back in the back of your thighs and the back of your calves, a little bit into your low back, and breathing easily. And now before we move, I want you to think about using your glutes. So we're going to lift up one vertebrae at a time, but I want you to squeeze your glutes to pull you up, so that way you do not feel it in your low back. Nice and slow. Get back up into that neutral position with the shoulders down and back. And we're going to go through this one more time, and maybe we'll be able to go a little bit further. So again, we're going to take a nice deep breath in, reaching up towards the sky, getting as tall as possible. And this time, if you want to take it a little bit further, put your hands on your low back and let your back arch a little bit so that you're looking directly at the ceiling. As far as you're comfortable. If you're more comfortable up here, stay up here. Either way, we're lengthening that spine, and it should feel really good after sitting in that chair for a few hours. A nice deep breath in. As we exhale, we're going to come back to that half folded pose. Maybe this time we can keep our legs a little bit straighter. And you should be feeling that all in your low back. Maybe you can press your chest a little bit further to the ground while maintaining that straight spine. Nice deep breath in. As you exhale, go ahead and just let yourself fall to the floor. Not all the way, just the top of your head. And again, maybe this time we're able to go a little bit straighter with the legs, or we're able to reach a little bit further. And nice, easy breathing. If you find yourself holding your breath, just back off the stretch a little bit. Maybe put a little more bend in your knee. And again, thinking about our glutes, we're going to squeeze our glutes, pull ourselves up one vertebrae at a time. Get back into that standing neutral position. Again, to keep the direction going backwards, because everything we do is forward, we're going to grasp our hands behind us. If you can, I'm going to show some options if this doesn't work for you. But we're just grasping our hands together and we're going to lift our arms as far as we're comfortable. And you should be feeling that stretch right here in the front of your shoulder. This is actually stretching our pec muscles as far as you're comfortable. If grasping your hands behind you does not work for you, go ahead and put one arm against the wall and then just twist away from it. And you can control how intense that stretch is going to be by determining how close to the wall you're going to get. The closer you get, the deeper the stretch it's going to be. So find a way that works best for you. Hold it there. And again, make sure we're breathing. And if you're doing your stretch up against the wall, make sure you switch sides. When you're ready, nice deep breath in. As we exhale, we're going to pull one arm up overhead like you're giving yourself a pat on the back. The other hand is pulling that arm back. This is a tricep stretch. If reaching in that direction doesn't work for you by going all the way and using this hand, just reach as far as you can. Either way, once this elbow is bent, you're lengthening this muscle. So we're just trying to add to that by pulling it up and behind us. So find a place that works for you. Breathing through it. Nice deep breath in. Exhale. We're going to switch arms. And again, we're just trying to pull ourselves out of that forward facing position that we spend most of our day in. So even if you only remember a couple of these stretches, if you do them a couple times throughout the day just to get your posture back where it belongs, you're going to feel a lot better. The next one we're going to do is we're going to do a side stretch. So I'm going to have you bring your feet as wide apart as you're comfortable, and you can adjust that once you start the stretch and see how it feels. But what I want you to do is put your hand on the seam of your pants, like your middle finger, and I want you to follow it down. And that's how I'm going to have you stretch to the side. That way, we avoid leaning forward, we avoid leaning backwards, and we're just staying on one plane of motion and going straight down to the side. From there, you can keep your hand here on your hip. If you want to take it a little bit further, you can reach that arm up and overhead. And again, the wider your legs are, the easier it's going to be. And when you put your hand on the seam of your pants, think about going either above your knee or below your knee, but not on your knee. The knee does not bend inward, so we don't want to push it that way. And just find a place that works for you. And before we stand up to switch sides, just like before, I want you to think about your glutes and your obliques. So your obliques are on the side, your glutes. Squeeze this like you're trying to make your ribs touch your hip. And that's how we're going to lift ourselves up. That way we don't feel it in our low back. And then we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, following the seam of that pant. Nice, easy breathing again. We want to make sure the oxygen is being moved through our body to these muscles that we're stressing right now. Easy breathing when you're ready. Again, we're squeezing the glutes, the obliques on this side to pull ourselves up. Let's go through these few one more time, and then I'm going to finish with a couple in the chair. So we started with the pec stretch. Again, that's bringing your arms up behind you or pressing up against the wall. Whichever way works for you. And again, hopefully now you're a little bit warmer, you're a little bit more stretched. Hopefully you can increase that range of motion a little bit. Finding that comfortable place. When you're ready, deep breath in, exhale, bring one arm overhead. And this is the patting yourself on the back stretch. And you're just pulling that elbow back as far as you're comfortable. Take another breath as you exhale. We'll switch sides. If there's any shooting pain, that's another indication that you're taking it too far. It should feel like tension. It should not feel like pain. Stretching should always feel good. It should never hurt. So keep that in mind as you're going through these. And if something's not working, don't worry about it. Send one of us an email or your local team, and we'll help you with some stretches that may work better for you. All right, after that, we had our sides. So again, following the seam of the pants, going straight down. We're not pressing on our knee, either above or below it. Excuse me. If you need to take it a little bit further, but you're concerned about hitting the floor, bend this elbow. I'll show better from this angle. You can go ahead and switch sides when you're ready. But if my hand is down here below my knee and I'm stretching, but I feel like I could take a little bit further, you bend this elbow and not lock it out. That gives you a little bit more room to work. Stay there as long as you'd like. When you're ready, you're gonna take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, you're gonna pull yourself up using those obliques, those glutes. And we're just gonna end, before we sit down and do a couple chair stretches, we wanna get back into that neutral position. If it helps to get nice and tall, reaching up again, and those shoulders are back and dropped, locked down, like we're trying to tuck our shoulder blades into our back pockets. So if you're about ready to get back to work, let me just show you a couple. You can move your chair really quick. So first, we're just gonna work on our hips. So if you can, cross one leg over your lap. All right, no, I kind of blend in with my chair here. And you're gonna place one hand on the knee that is bent. You can push that towards the ground. And then you can lower your chest down to your leg. If crossing your leg up here does not work for you, that's okay. You can cross your leg lower and still press that hip down, or try to lean forward. You're still going to feel that stretch in your hip. What I mean by pressing that knee down, keeping my back nice and flat, and bringing my chest down to my leg. This is one of my favorite stretches. This is really easy to do while you're working, and it's really good for your hips. When you're ready, you can go ahead and switch sides. You may notice that one side during this whole exercise wasn't stretching as easily as the other. I noticed that as soon as I put my left leg up. So that just tells me that I need to work on this one a little bit more. Muscle imbalances are totally normal, so don't worry about it. Just enjoy the stretch. Breathe through it, nice and easy. Don't hold your breath. And the last one I do want to show you, we're just going to do a little spine twist. You got the arm of your chair to help. Pressing against the outside of your leg. Again, we don't want to press on the knee. And we'll go to the other side. All right, everybody. Hopefully your back is feeling a little bit looser, your chest, your shoulders, your arms. Hopefully those are all a little bit looser, a little bit more stretched out. Again, my name is Andi. I am at the Tempe site, and I'll be back for you tomorrow with another stretch break. If you have any thoughts on the duration, the time of day, the day of the week, if you have any feedback you want to give us, please email your local team or put it in this chat box really here. I will check before we log out. We appreciate any feedback as we're thinking about putting our April schedule together. So again, my name is Andi. This is Exos Stretch Break. We look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thank you.